Exactly that, as Merstash, Queasy, and Swizzy didn't see that opening for height this time around so early. Now lower on materials are forced to play by the water here as there's just so much pressure on their surroundings. The issue with the zone is it continues pulling through water. It's so many materials that will have to be used, but Veno said, where are my eliminations? I want to get a bit more fraggy this time around. I don't care that we have height. I need to find some more picks as Flixie continuing to take those shots and stay ahead.
Sky, though, inside of the mid-ground layers, trouble is brewing. He knows that height has them completely focused out. They're going to opt to try and shift back towards some pre-existing builds of theirs. But again, Vico, Flixie, Veno, they just continue to hold down height. And down below, inside the waterway itself, teams just getting absolutely smothered together.
Swizzy's already gone down. Merstash now forced to back up as him and Queasy are put into panic. Blaha Mixin looking for shots, unable to connect one though, but they find Marius, they found Vanya. Merstash now looking to get some shots. Can they find a free picking? Yes, they can. Marius goes down to Merstash, bumping his eliminations up to 5 as they continue to find a way back to zone, but they're not even done.
Darm, welcome to your first grand, because Wox, Malabuka on the other side of those walls, but it's going to be Demas who might be able to actually keep the Polish hopes alive here, just managing to squiggle away from where Wox and Malabuka are currently standing. But Malabuka, he can't afford to take another tick of storm. He's got to make sure that he follows zone all the way through. Wox immediately lit up the moment that he tries to layer swap.
Malabuka versus Merstash. What is this history? Teammates now opponents, as you have to be careful. Malabuka goes down. The zone's pulling right back to the dam. They need to get elevated here. You cannot stay down below. You're going to get cut off from zone as Merstash is looking to see what he can do with just 2 builds to his name. 28 HP, 50 shield. All it's going to take is one big pump shot to take out Merstash.
But Merstash knows he's going to be forced to try and play from this backside position. Now looking to just try and hold down, hold out for as long as possible. Every placement counts. They didn't have the materials in the first place. That's why he's even low ground to begin with. But he's not the only one suffering here. Scroll, Sky, Eyedrop just cutting their way through the madness. Finally managed to find a solo, but Ixterus makes sure that his name is known. Getting the better end of this exchange now. It's all going to be Merstash dropping to try and see if he can recover some of that body loot, but Rex immediately puts that dream down.
Mixin, full trio up. Blaha comeback now. Have to decide what's the game plan. Do we have an opening for height? Do we have to drop down low? The decision needs to be made as the Oni masks are going to come through to avoid that fall damage and conserve those last couple materials that they have. The fight for the low ground is about to commence as Mixin, Blaha, comeback looking for angles. Go on in. Demus goes down. Vico, though, he's not going to let that one slide as he takes out Blaha. Looking to follow up shortly with comeback. Just 20 HP on the clock. Gets the siphon. It's enough to stay up, but now it's Flixie going to be able to out-heal. The Oni mats come through. Flixie's not even finished. This is what it takes to be a champion.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Veno, the fact that his team is the one to walk away with this match 2 victory, Takada, that is a direct shout out to Queasy and Co. And I just cannot picture a better way to seal the deal than with the way that they were able to essentially commandeer height for pretty much the priority of this late game. And even after losing it momentarily to Comet Blaha and Mixin, it did not deter them in the slightest. They just got fraggy at the end of it.
Oh yeah, that zone was perfect as well. After they were able to take height, there was so many changes in the elevation due to that dam that they just had almost a free picking up on high ground. But you could also see how their playstyle kind of changed a little bit from the first game. They got picked too early. They didn't take as many of those early to mid-game engagements, but just like we're used to seeing, once it reached the end game, they started getting fraggy. Vico, Veno, they were dropping down. They were looking for picks, and they made it happen. But I want to go back to the desk because you guys gotta break down what we just witnessed.
Well, I think what we just witnessed was another high ground masterclass, but this time from Queasy's ex-duo, Veno, and the rest of his trio, because the guys, once they claimed height from Prajaj, chopping him down, they were just